Hi, my name is Marria Evbuoma, and you are invited to Reunion, where we are sharing our experiences as past, present, and future ancestors. Next slide. So, about me, us, I use we, us pronouns, and that's because I believe in one, being at one with my surroundings and all beings. Um, and this is reflected in my life and in my work. And I started this journey because a lot of things around me didn't make sense. And the people around me weren't quite giving me the answers that I knew existed. So my dad used to call me a troublemaker. He still calls me troublemaker. That's my nickname. And I found out I'm from a long lineage of troublemakers, people who F around and find out. And that's cool. And that's what set me on a journey to really discover what was it? What was this difference? And what I found out about my ancestors was also that the way they push boundaries was also showing up in our health. My family has a lot of lupus and type 2 diabetes and all sorts of autoimmune and endocrine diseases. And I also found out that it wasn't just my genetics. It wasn't that, black folks being told that it's your genes, it's just how black folks are. It wasn't even our food that we were eating. It was the products that we were using. It was how we were living, the clothes that we were putting on ourselves, and all that. I also found out as someone who travels and hears stories that a lot of these things are made and disposed of in the US and in the global South in Black and indigenous communities. So if I'm going to protect myself and my child, I need to not use these products. And I also want to invite other Black families to protect themselves and their children, and all of us go forward and for future generations. Next slide. Um, so we have reunion because we do need to understand what this is. And what started off as a project around lowering waste really became something different, became spiritual organizing and collective organizing because folks really had never been asked why you do something. Why do you use that cup? Why do you use that product? Who taught you how to clean? And so we need to sit with that. So we gathered during the moon cycle because even how we keep time is rooted in anti-Blackness and exploitation of labor. So we had 4 gatherings in a moon cycle where we met in Oakland at the Laurel Community Garden, a foraging space that I manage. And we also met at Cafe de Funk, owned and operated by a Black mama, where we were nourished. And our other 2 were on Zoom for accessibility. And in these spaces, I gave invitations to adults and kids to practice guided meditation, breath work, mindful exercises that were rooted in ancestral knowledge. And then we channeled those reflections into art or giving back to land, which are indigenous practices. So over the last 2 moon cycles, we connected with 10 Black parents, moms and dads, 12 beautiful Black and brown babies, and 5 Black community members who just wanted to support us because it does take a village. Practice makes permanent, so that's why we practice how ancestors lived and communicated and processed what they want to know. And so we know that this work is hard to do, and so that's why we need these safe spaces to be able to practice it. We also know that it's very, very urgent. Cafe de Fonk is losing their lease to market rate condos in April. The garden can't move forward with USDA because of cuts to black farming and urban agriculture programs. So we have a very real need to secure these spaces around us. So you're invited to help us have these spaces or create your own in your community, and we can show you how. Thank you.